Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Rusty Nelson and welcome. I'm down here in the Villages, Central Florida, and today we're going to talk about Hurricane Milton. Now, it's not actually a hurricane yet, but it might as well be, and who knows, by the time you're watching this, it might be. And usually I don't come on here until things look like they're going to definitely affect us. I was looking at this storm probably 5-6 days ago, something happening down in the Gulf, and it wasn't sure. And at that time, it seemed like it was just going to be pump up some rain showers and moisture. And actually that's going to be involved in here somehow, because this evolved into something else. But in case you've never watched this, please like and subscribe, not just the normal one, because I go live if it warrants. I'll take my car out and I can actually broadcast straight from my car live. And thanks to the folks that jumped on there on the last one, because this isn't my normal car. So I'm still kind of working the bugs out on getting the broadcasting out. But if you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell twice and hit all. That way you'll get notified of the live broadcast as it's happening, and you won't miss out on it. But anyway, this is one we probably need to take seriously. This is, with any storm, you just never know. It's Mother Nature, so you just don't know. And I know here in Central Florida, we get so used to saying, we don't need to worry about it. We're here in the middle of Florida, blah, blah, blah. Well, you might see on this how this may affect us a little bit. So please pay attention to this. If you have those tchotchkes out in your yard that you're not supposed to have, this is the reason why they're not supposed to be there, is because with 60, 70, 80 mile an hour winds, they're not going to stand a chance. So you need to get those inside for this. You also need to prepare a little bit. Make sure you got batteries in your weather radio. I will put the link down to the one that I actually use, although I have different things that I use now, but you may want to think about that. Prepare whatever you need to do to prepare. People ask me, what am I, some kind of scientist or something like that I know this stuff? No, I guided people for over a decade out in the Midwest chasing tornadoes. Yes, just like the Twister thing, and also got educated about weather through the Air Force for 10 years. But besides that, I'm just another knucklehead on YouTube, so you need to do your own research. Listen to the Weather Channel, listen to Fox Weather, whatever it is that you listen to, keep abreast and know what's going on. And be prepared for this one. But anyway, let's jump onto the screen here. Take a quick look at this. I'm not going to belabor this because things are going to change over the next couple of days. But safe to say that I feel about 95% chance that this is going to hit us. So here we go. This is a chart I like to use. It kind of gives the hours, and I'm going to draw on this a little bit just to give you an idea of what's going on. But this is the general course of this. If you take a look, this is Sunday morning that I'm doing this, in about 48 hours, couple of days from now, if you look right down there, this is going to definitely be a hurricane, and they're predicting it to already be at 105 miles an hour. So we're looking at a Cat 2 within 2 days. That's pretty incredible. And definitely within the next day, probably maybe even today while you're watching this, this is going to be a Category 1 hurricane. So with that said, let's take a look at the path of this. I need people to understand that this cone right here that they have drawn out, sorry, my drawing's not that great. This is a wobble cone. This is this center of this thing could end up anywhere in here. It's not, this is what's going to be affected. This line right here, the black line, is a mean line. This is kind of like everything put together, and this is where they think that it's going to go. To give you an idea, this is Tampa right here. This is the Villages. So I would definitely say we are in the sights of Milton. And let's jump over here, take another look, different view. Excuse me, this is NOAA. This is 1 to 3 days right here. You can see These M's right there, they are actually means major hurricane. So you got major hurricane there, major hurricane there. And that means we're definitely going to have some serious winds. This is 4 to 5 days out, the little dotted area. And once again, this is where we are right here. We are right in the sights of this. And if we jump over to the next chart, like I said, I'm going to run through this pretty quick. Most likely arrival time, these are winds. Okay, this isn't the center of this. These are most likely arrival time of tropical storm force winds. And this is Wednesday on the coast at about 8 a.m. The earliest we could see it is Tuesday night. And I really hope it's in, Tuesday night wouldn't be so bad because that means we're going to get the blunt of the major part of this Wednesday. So that's one view. Precip, this right here, the red marks in here is where the greatest chance of flash flood risks over the next 5 days or so. I think this is probably going to get, this is going to be a wet one, and I'll tell you why. Let me jump back on here while I'm thinking about this. So originally when this storm started out, and we go back 5-6 days ago, I was kind of watching this down there, and I don't like to say anything then because then I get a whole bunch of people going, you said that there was going to be this and there's going to be that. Hey, it's weather. It's weather. And it wasn't until yesterday where I really started to see that, man, this is going to go. Well, what happened is there was a lot of moisture down there in the Gulf. And there was another storm right on the other side, on the Pacific side, that kind of jumped over and forced that moisture out ahead of it. And that's going to cause a little bit of problems for us because what's going to happen is as Milton moves up, it's moving that other moisture out ahead of it. So we're going to kind of get rain soaked here for a day, a couple of days, and then the hurricane's going to hit us. So we're going to have a lot of moisture. Now, the good thing is about the Villages is they've really got a great system on moving water around. And you'll probably see, they may even close golf courses on this one to kind of get this one ready. I don't know they're going to be playing out in the rain anyway, but they're going to be dumping a lot of water out there, I would suspect, and really kind of draining a lot of these ponds and stuff like that. Now, where you might see some more flooding is up north in the north part of the Villages where they don't have the ability to move water around that much. And that's just the way it is. So like I said, I think most likely I'll be going live on this one just because of what's going on. So make sure that you're subscribed. Anyway, let's go back to some of these models here. This is the GFS, and I'm not going to go through different models, but like I've said before, we look for trends, and especially this far out. And as these things start to spin up and become more solid, then the trends everything kind of narrows down, and you start to be able to see where something's going to go. Although, like I said, it is weather. And this is the GFS, and we'll kind of run through this. This is Florida right down there bottom. You can see 72 hours, it's off the coast, and this goes by 24 hours. We get up into, this is just about, let's see. This is a composite, so this is kind of like made up what it thinks things are going to look like. Like I said, I'm making this really simple. I don't want to get technical about this. This is the Villages right here. This is the center of this right here, hitting Tampa. And as you can see, this is right at us. And this is most likely, sorry about all the ads, that's just the way it is, or I got to end up paying for this thing. And you can see as this rolls through, pops out the other side, and kind of fades into a nothing fish storm. But yeah, this right now, as it stands, is kind of heading right for us. Let's take a look at precipitation type. We can kind of watch this roll in again. And this is pretty amazing, but this is the Villages right here. And you can see right where this is hitting. This is aimed right at us. Now, with that said, remember, this is where the cone is, and it can hit basically anywhere in here. I kind of hope for Tampa that it hits down in this area. That way they won't have as much floodwaters. But you can see this is kind of, as far as precip goes, this is kind of hitting right on top of us. One more little thing to look at right here, and this is deals with moisture. And originally, as I said, things began to change. And when I looked at this originally a couple days ago, I thought we got a possibility of a little bit of a reprieve because there was some dry air being sucked into the backside of this as it approached. But now, as things are changing and we watch this come right into our area, that dry air, this is drier air up in here, is not, it's just, we don't have a whole lot of dry air getting sucked into this. And I'm going to jump back into this to take a look at this and kind of expand on this, go back to our first one. As this comes across right here, you can see this hatched area right here. This is warm water. That's what this is. This is warm water in this hatched area. That's one of the reasons, just one of the reasons, that this picks up intensity right there. And the water cools off a little bit right here. And then right in here, it starts to warm up again. But as many of you know, when these storms hit land, friction and everything else starts to take its toll on the storms, and it decreases. Unfortunately, this one, right now, they're not sure, but they're looking at anywhere from a Cat 2 to a Cat 4 in that area. And like I said, at this point in time, kind of heading right for us here in Central Florida. There is a jet stream that kind of comes down like this. And just from my little bit of knowledge, when it dips down and moves that quick and has that much of a bend in it, it becomes less predictable about where it's going to steer things. So be prepared. This could go anywhere in between there. And that's all, I guess that's all I really want to say right now, because I just want you to be prepared and thinking about this. You know, have your batteries ready for your flashlights. Here in the Villages, a lot of the electricity and everything is buried underground, so we really don't have a lot except for the major lines, but that doesn't preclude us from having transformers blow and that type of thing and not knocking out electrical grids and that type of thing. But because of that, you know, we can get things repaired a lot quicker because they're not out there taking care of a lot of things that would normally get blown over, say, up in the Midwest or whatever like that. Also, be prepared. You know, I end up freezing a few bottles. I stick them in my refrigerator. I don't have a, sorry about that, but of course, now I'm getting all kinds of texts and stuff like that. But, you know, I freeze a few extra bottles of water and put them in my freezer. Kind of keeps that freezer cool in case we get knocked out with electricity. Usually it's not that long. Make sure you try to figure out ways that you might be able to let people know in case cell power gets down. Check with your neighbor. Maybe they use a different cell system or internet or that type of thing. Some people are hardwired into the internet. Some people are using different types of systems. So check with your neighbors and let your family know. Try to figure out some way that in case we get knocked out with electricity and that kind of thing. Anyway, get rid of those tchotchkes out in the yard. Put your furniture away. This could be a good one, and it's going to be kind of moving fast. Anyway, that's about it for now. Like I said, thanks for liking, subscribing, and if I go out and you got that all button pushed, you will get notified that I'm out there. Thanks a lot for joining me. I'm going to go out and try to get my last pickleball game in here and take my grill in from outside and get ready for the sucker, I guess. Anyway, thanks a lot and have a great day, and hopefully we all weather this one pretty good.